welcome back to my channel, and hello anyone that is new. My name is Ellis. This is baby Parker. He is 10 months old tomorrow. So the day that you're seeing this, you're 10 months old. And I had the 3-year-old called Klayton as well, didn't we? Your big brother Klayton. Yes, we do. As you can probably tell, every time I speak, this one is going to look at me because he has become a little bit obsessed with my voice. And today I'm going to be sharing with you all Parker's 8, 9 and 10 month update. I haven't done one of these the last few months just because I didn't feel like there was too much that changed. But over the course of the 3 months, obviously there is quite a bit. So I'm going to begin sharing with you in terms of in categories. This one may or may not play ball. Highs. Yeah. And I've decided that I'm going to start off with Parker's skills. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you about is that he is now sitting up really strong, all by yourself, aren't you? You can sit up all unassisted now. Can't you? Yes. He's sitting up really strong. I think in my last update that I gave, he was beginning to sit up but wasn't that strong. Where are you going? He also loves to be bounced at the moment. Didn't you? You love having bounces. Yay. So he's very, very active, as you can probably see. He loves being on the move now. He is rolling everywhere, as I think I've mentioned. Ain't ya? A couple of times I've seen him go from being in like a laying down position to a seated position, but I've never actually seen him do the transition. It's only been a couple of times and I haven't called it yet. I've kind of seen him half on his way to sitting, but then he kind of gives up and carries on. So another thing that he's got down, do you want your toys? Mummy, sit you next to me and you can play with your toys. So another thing that he solidly got down now is crawling. He is solidly crawling. So at first he used to do like the skydive position where he would kind of hold his arms out like this, kind of flap a little as you see people skydive. That was what he did, and obviously he didn't get anywhere. Then he moved on to like a seal crawl, which is pretty much what he does the majority of the time when he wants to get somewhere fast. But he will literally kind of seal across the floor. It's really weird. And then a couple of weeks ago, it was about 2 weeks ago now, my friend came over and he'd learned so much from her little boy. I think because they kind of really pay attention to him. And he started to crawl, and so now he's doing it very intermittently. He will do it, but he knows that he can get places quicker if he does his little seal crawl. So he's doing that. Aren't you? Yay. He's also begun pulling himself up a little bit now, so he likes to kind of pull himself up, and this is what he'll do. He'll just wander off to places. Look, play with this one. Yeah, he's very inquisitive. He wants to go and do lots of different things now as well. He doesn't stay in one place for very long. He likes to kind of try and drag himself up and climb on top of me. He's into everything. So in my last video he wasn't really into much and kind of avoided everything. Now he likes to pull all of the stones and pebbles off of my fireplace. All wires kind of have to be put away. He's broken another one of my lamps. He's just a bit of a nightmare, aren't you? You're a typical boy. Typical boy. What's this one? Oh, what's that? He really enjoys getting involved with others now. He really plays with Klayton, and he's really into what Klayton's doing as well. So if Klayton's sitting on the floor and he's playing with a puzzle, you can guarantee Parker's there, can't we? And Parker, like I said, he's 10 months exactly tomorrow, and 4 days ago his first tooth come through. We had a few sleepless, hysterical nights, which never happen, and I'll go on to his sleep in a minute. But now he's cut his first tooth. It's his little bottom tooth. It's super cute. What are you doing? What are you doing? You playing? And I really, really love it. It makes him look super cute, but it's only just there. So we go away next week, and I'm a bit worried that my parents and Adam's parents are going to have a very bad teething baby. So Parker has also learned how to clap, and I'll say to him, clap, 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 you do it. And he literally normally starts clapping. He is so cute and so adorable, which I absolutely love. So now I've kind of moved on from like his skills and what he's been doing. I'm going to move on to his sleep. Now, oh, you've got a nasty cough, haven't you? Do you want this one? Here you go. So now I'm going to move on to his sleep, like I was saying. So his sleep, he's always been a really, really good sleeper. We can't really fault him. He generally sleeps from 7 till 7. Sometimes he'll go down a little bit later. We do the boys' routine together. Sometimes, like this morning, he slept until like 7:30. Other mornings he'll be 7 or 8. It kind of really does differ, but he generally gets a really good night's sleep. The only time that he really wakes up is if he loses his dummy. And like I said, the other night we went through a bit of a torment because obviously he was teething, bless him. But other than that, he's really good. He takes 1 nap a day, which is generally after he's had his breakfast. So because of the way that Klayton's preschool works, I normally take Klayton to preschool. I'm normally back by about 9 o'clock, 10:09, and then I'll feed Parker his breakfast. He'll then, dependent on when he's had it, because he normally has it between around 9:15 and 9:45, dependent on when he's had it, he will then either go straight up for a nap or go for a little play, but he always has his nap at 10 o'clock. If we're going out, he'll nap in the car or he'll nap in the pram. He's really, really easy, but when he naps at home, he'll normally nap for around, yesterday he napped for 4 hours. He napped from 10 till 2. The day before it was 10 till 1. He'll nap anywhere between 2 and 4 hours, which I think is really good. But that is the only nap that he'll have in the day. Sometimes, like I said, if we're out, he'll fall again asleep in the pram or the car. But he doesn't really tend to need another nap because obviously he's then awake at 2 o'clock and he goes down at 7. So he is tired by the time he then goes to bed. And with Klayton, he always had 2 naps a day at this age, but Parker just doesn't seem to want it, doesn't need it, and I'm pretty fine with that because an afternoon nap would really interfere with our preschool pickups and stuff like that. So it works really well for us. We are quite lucky that he will just sleep anywhere as well, which is an absolute godsend, isn't it? And then I'm going to move on to his food, which we're having a bit of a nightmare with. So up until a couple of weeks ago, I'd say about a month ago actually, he was doing really, really well. Parker's never been a fab eater like Klayton was, but he was doing really well. He was having 3 meals a day plus a yogurt. So he'd have, what's this man? What's this? So he'd have his breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then after dinner he would have a yogurt for pudding. He was also having around 4 bottles a day at 8-9 ounces, and he was eating all of the meals, drinking all of the milk. There was never any worries or concerns. There was never any worries or concerns or anything like that. And then he started going through a phase where he started projectile vomiting. When I say throwing up, I don't mean a little bit. He was throwing up a lot of food. Not only was he throwing up his food, he would only eat about 1/4 of a packet, half a packet. He would then projectile vomit it up, and he would throw up all of the last bottle that he may have had 2-3 hours before. So it wouldn't be like it was a fresh bottle sitting in his stomach. He would completely throw it all up. This was up until about a month ago, and then around 2 weeks ago we took him to the doctors after being out with my friend. Oh no! Oh! And she suggested that I take him to the doctors because she's a nurse, and she said that she didn't think it was right. And you know, as a mother, you kind of go on Google, you Google stuff, and there was loads of people that said this, and I was thinking, well, it's just maybe him gagging on the bigger parts, because the other issue that we have is he won't take anything thicker than a really smooth puree. He won't let me home cook him foods. He point blank refuse anything that's even slightly thicker. The only food that he will have is the Ellis Kitchen organic range. Anything that's even lightly textured or thicker, he'll point blank refuse. You're talking loads too, aren't you? Yes, you are. He'll point blank refuse. He won't let me baby-led wean him. He won't take any food. He might have a biscotti for a little bit and then he'll crush it. He hates rusks. Sometimes he takes like a little bit if I'm feeding it to him, like a little bit of strawberry or banana, but it's all the sweet foods that he wants. He doesn't want anything else. And this was before we had him on what he's now on, which after we went to the doctor said, have you considered that he might have an allergy to the milk? Now, if any of you know from Klayton and my experience with Klayton, you will know that both Klayton and Adam, my husband, both had milk intolerances to formula milk. So they were allergic to formula milk. Adam, at a couple of months old, was put onto full fat cow's milk, and as back then they didn't really have any other types. Do you want this one? What's this? Oh. Yeah, so back then they didn't really have any prescription milks they could give you. So Adam was moved straight onto cow's milk, and then he was solved. He was fine. He was as good as gold. The same thing happened with Klayton, and I fought for months and months and months, knowing that Adam was allergic to milk. Klayton had a lot of allergy problems, eczema, was throwing up his bottles. I fought for 10 months to get Klayton prescription milk, and as soon as we did, all of his issues were solved. And it's not that he's intolerant to the dairy or anything like that, because yogurt, cheese, full fat milk, everything's fine. It's literally the formula milk that they have. I don't know what it is. It makes him really sick, and it was the same for Adam. When Parker was first born, we had tummy problems, constipation problems, we had him throwing up, and the doctors put it down to reflux. He's been on colic and constipation milk since he was born, from like literally being like a week or so old after we went to the doctors. And the doctor said to me, have you thought about him having an allergy? To which I told him her past experience. And he's now been put on prescription milk too. So he's on Nutramigen 2, which is prescribed by the doctors. And since then, he has not been sick. He has not projectile vomited any of his food at all. He's keeping everything down. I remember Klayton hating the milk, but Parker seems to love it. I don't know whether it's because it's sweeter than formula milk, and he seems to be a baby that likes sweet stuff. But yeah, he has been so much better. Again though, it's taken us to the point of him being 10 months old to get to this point, and now his tummy problems have gone, his throwing up has gone. I push for this every single time and never get anywhere. So I'm so thankful to the doctor that I saw the other day, because obviously he's now solved all of these issues for us. And that's what he's drinking now. So he's now having roughly around 3 meals a day, roughly. Sometimes lunchtime's a bit hit and miss, he doesn't really want it. If he's not having it, I'm just normally leaving him, giving him, trying it. If he's not having it, I'll kind of pass it on. But 3 bottles a day he's normally having. So he'll have a morning, lunchtime, and then a dinner bottle, or like a before bed bottle. And that's about it really, isn't it? That's what you're having. And then he loves his breakfast, so he'll have his breakfast with full fat cow's milk. But again, baby led weaning, it's just not going very well. If any of you guys can help me, because every time I add any sort of lumpier texture to his food, he will gag and throw it all up, and obviously I don't want nothing going into him. So if any of you guys have any advice that you could give me on how you can give your babies, or how you gave your babies lumpier, more textured food if they had this sort of problem, because Klayton was no issue at all. He would take it, it didn't really bother him, and it's not like I'm jumping up to massive lumps. I'm jumping up to like the next level of being a tiny bit lumpy, nothing else. So I really don't know what to do about that, and it's really worrying me that he'll end up not being able to eat. He's also got his 9 to 12 month review booked in for the beginning of May, so in a couple of weeks time. I only remember having Klayton having a 1-year review, but apparently they do it differently. They sent me through a form a bit like they do at the 2-year check, where you have to go and tick stuff off of what they can do if they sometimes do it. And you can't do much on the list, can ya? But I know that babies change really, really quickly, and obviously they learn things so quickly as well, like he's clapping and stuff like that. So I'm not too worried or too concerned. He's growing, he's putting away, he's doing everything that he should be. Hey, Baba. He's in 9 to 12 month clothes. Incha, this is 9 to 12 months, and it's not that big on you. The other day I had to go up in the loft and get all of Klayton's old stuff down, and it was just crazy now seeing Parker in it all. But yeah, that is everything. If you like this update, then obviously please don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more videos coming shortly. I have lots of parenting related videos, as well as cleaning and hauls and travel and things like that. If you do have any suggestions on how I can perhaps get him to take some lumpier food or some more baby led weaning, because I'm offering it every meal and it's still not working, I would be forever grateful. And I will see you all again for another video shortly. Bye guys. Are you saying bye? Say bye bye. Say bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Have you finished? It's all gone. It's all finished. It's all gone. It's all